What's up everybody and welcome back to the Ravens reviewing videos. Today I'm going to look at a channel called thescarycherry. I hadn't noticed it before, but I was looking for, well, trending videos as in paranormal wise, like UFOs and all that kind of crap. But I found, instead of that, I found 20 glitches in the Matrix caught on camera. And it looked very interesting, so I was like, why not? I want to see what glitches were in there. Because I saw on the thumbnail there was a group of palm trees blowing one way, and there was one palm tree that blew the other way. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. I hope there's a video in there. So, well, let's have a look at this one. Everybody sit back, relax, and enjoy this video because it's review time. Here we go.
You see some of this crazy footage, you'll be bamboozled.
Bamboozled. I'm bamboozled.
When you see some of these clips, you'll truly believe you're living in the Matrix. These are 20 glitches in the Matrix caught on camera.
I'll be the judge about that. For my own.
Number 20. The breathing forest floor. This incredible footage has been doing the rounds for a while now, and it's no wonder that people are fascinated by the bizarre and slightly unsettling film of a forest.
I do know that the forest is alive, but if it is breathing, I don't know about that. I think it has something to do with the wind and the roots underneath the ground. Because there's a lot of roots underneath it, because I used to trip over them. But I think it has something to do with that, and it does look like breathing to me, but if it's actual breathing, I don't know. Is it moving? Definitely.
That seems to be inhaling and exhaling as if it were in possession of a set of lungs. It is hauntingly beautiful, that much is true, but is the forest actually breathing? Well, no, sorry, it's not. But you already knew that, really, didn't you? Captured in the deep, dense forest of Quebec, this footage captures the woods rising and falling as if breathing. But according to scientists who have studied the phenomenon, there is something else going on. The clue to the truth is in the background of the vehicle. There's clearly a very strong wind that's blowing across the area, and this is what's responsible for the movement of the earth. When the ground is loose enough and the wind is strong enough, it's apparently able to cause trees to sway back and forth in such a way as to pull at their roots and loosen the surrounding soil. When it does this in a particular way, it can indeed make the ground appear to be breathing. So I'm sorry to spoil the magic, but it does still look awesome, doesn't it? Before we go on, like this video, smash the subscribe button, and click the notification bell right now, or this centipede will crawl on your face when you're sleeping.
Yeah. Already did, thank God.
Now it's time for the sweet topic. This photo taken during a hurricane confuses the bananas out of me. Most of the palm trees are blowing in the direction of the wind, as you would expect, but one of them, well, one is just defying physics and blowing in the opposite direction.
Now,
how did
explain
this come
that to me.
What's going on here? What do you think? As always, comment down below using the hashtag sweet topic and let
I do not know. Except for the fact that it's weird as hell. So everybody, explain that to me, because I have no idea how this works. To me, this is a glitch in the Matrix. It has to be. Or else somebody has to have an explanation for that, because I have no idea what in the world, in science and whatever, would do this. It's weird. This is so weird to me. The wind goes that way and the other one goes that way. Why? Why is that? Explain that to me. Put it in the comments, or put it in his comments so I can read that.
Let us know your opinion in relation to what we just showed you on the screen. Number 19. Terrifying moments caught in mirror reflections. Now, there's nothing wrong with a bit of cheeky video editing to get the goosebumps tingling, you know, for a trick at Halloween or some such, but do you draw the line at using your own baby to get the internet to do all the clicking? This father had no such qualms. His son became fair game in the video editing trickery, and all the comments about his baby's demonic possession seemed just part of the fun. Well, it takes all sorts, I suppose, but seeing your baby looking all evil isn't exactly what we would all enjoy. toy. But here we are. The baby does look super cute, smiling in the mirror, and then he turns around, but his reflection stays facing out of the mirror. The reflection's eyes turn black, and it takes a couple of seconds for the reflection to match up with the real-life baby, and the moment between is chilling, for some people anyway.
I don't know if it's
Comments
I
on
think
the
it's
video
editing.
show just
Editing.
what scaredy cats people can be, even when they've recognized that the video editor was a guy pulling a fast one. Number 18. Daniel Radcliffe has many lookalikes. The internet's a wonderful thing. It's brought us such delights as Charlie bit my finger and all the cat videos that you can shake a stick at. But the trend for finding pictures of Daniel Radcliffe doppelgangers must be the reason why it was ever invented in the first place. So by trawling through images of old-timey people, it's been possible to find all kinds of Harry Potter lookalikes from days gone by. The thing is, though, they're all women. Now, for some reason, this is both hilarious and baffling to those who give a hoot about such things. Radcliffe himself seems fairly used to the kind of nonsense and just shrugs, saying, "These are all my past lives. I was a slightly depressed lady in a lot of them."
They're all my past lives, and I was like a sort of a slightly depressed lady.
And it looks as though he's right. From an old painting of someone's grandmother to a teenage girl in a bonnet from the 1940s, through to a preteen from 1992, Daniel Radcliffe, aka Harry Potter, is the spitting image of some distinctly gloomy females of times past.
That last one didn't look alike that much. The other ones did, but that one, no.
At least the latest incarnation of this face has found itself lit up on the big screen, so that's probably progress, and Radcliffe seems to be mostly smiling about it anyway. Number 17. Floating around the city on an invisible bicycle. What's wrong with this picture? The cheeky artist has created a series of artworks in which images of people are floating around along the city streets, ostensibly riding on bicycles, and yet the bikes are nowhere to be seen. Zhao Hassan is a Chinese artist whose project, Floating, is a series of photographs in which he's captured hundreds of cyclists riding in the streets, and then, through the magic of modern technology, has removed the bicycles from the image completely. Is it a confusing thing for the old gray matter to figure out? Well, yes, to be honest, and that's exactly the artist's point. He apparently is challenging what it means to see, because we expect to see something else, and our brains fill in the missing parts. So even though we can't actually see the bicycles, we understand exactly what's happening in the pictures. Oh, and they look pretty fun too, if you like that sort of thing. Number 16. Dog teleportation. Teleportation may be the dream of humankind, and it's often shown in science fiction as the future of travel.
Well, I do sometimes wish I could teleport somewhere, especially when I have to be at two places at once nowadays. So that would be very nice, but I don't think it's going to happen ever. Unless I become Lucy. Or something in the movie. Sorry. No. I would love to teleport somewhere. It would be very nice to do that sometimes. It's so much time that you can have by teleporting somewhere. I mean, if I have to pick up my kid from school, it's not much because it's the Netherlands and we are there within a blink of an eye. But it's 15 minutes for me to go get him, at least. And if I'm stuck in traffic, it's going to be longer. And then it's waiting for him, and then it's 15 minutes back. But if I can teleport this within 2 seconds, that would be very cool. That saves a lot of time. I don't know about you guys, but I would love to teleport. If somebody knows how to, please tell me. If you have a time machine, please tell me, because I'm going to borrow it from you.
Yet it remains a theoretical idea with no obvious opportunities to make it a reality. For humans anyway, it seems. However, dogs are already doing it. Teleportation is the hypothetical transfer of something, usually people, from one place to another, without actually crossing the physical space.
There is an explanation for those dogs.
You know, all that beam me up business in Star Trek, and it still seems to be the stuff of fantasy, but we've just been looking in the wrong place all this time. Science
Where did that dog
hold
come
all
from?
the answers. Just ask your pet poop.
Alright, it's very, very blurry image. It's very, very potato quality. But I did not see a dog before there. So where did the damn dog come from? Holy. I'm baffled.
Pooch for some
baffled.
tips. This
Don't know
dog was
anymore.
apparently captured on film mid-teleportation, and the particular Pooch manifests seemingly
Where's
out
the
of
dog?
thin air into the middle of the road. Vehicles are passing all around, and
I don't
suddenly
see the
there's
dog.
a dog. It's crazy, I know, but some people out there have decided that it just materialized via teleportation. What do you
It
think
has
about
to.
all this? Is this just a whole load of nonsense, or a glitch in the Matrix? And can you actually teach an old dog new tricks after all?
Very funny.
Number 15. Tree climbing goats in Morocco's Argan forest. You have goat to be kidding me. Seriously, these funny animals actually climb trees, and they look really kind of bizarre doing it. All these goats
That's cool.
balancing in the trees like absurd Christmas
It's not a glitch, but it is
seem
cool.
as though they must be photoshopped, but they really do climb trees. Not just any old trees, these are some discerning goats, and they will climb trees to eat their favorite food. Not just to pose for photographs. Only humans have such daft ideas about things, you know. The trees they
Cool.
climb are called argania trees, and these have green or brown fruits that grow in their rather prickly branches.
And they
In
get
Morocco, there are
argan
not
oil.
a whole bunch of things for goats to eat. In fact, it can be kind of scarce. So these animals have adapted to what's available. Many other animals won't even attempt to eat the fruit of the argania tree because
I still think it's cool. They don't have anything to hang on to because the paws do not allow that. And still they can climb trees. And not just any trees, because I know they're climbable and they're not that high up, but that's just cool. In my eyes, that's cool. That's not a glitch in the Matrix, though. But it's cool. Because I'm still looking for glitches in the Matrix. I just found one so far.
of those pesky old pricklers, but goats are not bothered by such trifles, and when they've eaten all the low-hanging fruit, they will simply clamber up to the higher branches and eat the fruit up there. What sensible creatures. Number 14. Swinging ghost analysis. Isn't it remarkable what we call news these days? This guy in the United States named Scott Denton took his children to play at the park, and then they all sat in the car and watched in apparent amazement as a swing appeared to swing itself. Yes, this wound up on a news website in the UK. Seriously, it may be time we all had a chat with ourselves. Anyways, the long and short of this generalized nonsense
It can't
is
just be
that
the
this
wind.
dude saw a swing that was swinging without a person in it, and he totally freaked out. He wouldn't even let his kids out of the car to go and play. In some respects, if you are really suggestible, then it could appear that the swing had some sort of spooky ghost stuff going on. The guy swears blind that there's no wind, but, and please
There is wind.
feel free to totally correct me if I'm wrong,
There's wind.
there does appear to be a bit of a breeze going on when he pans across to the trees. It seems to be swaying rather more than if there were actually no wind at all. But hey,
Thank you.
what do I know? What do you think? Is this swing possessed by a park demon? Or perhaps
No.
it's just a bit windier than this chap is letting on? Let me know what you think in
Thank
the
you.
comments below. We can get to the bottom of this mystery
It's the wind,
together,
and
I'm
the object
sure.
is bigger, so it will blow.
Number 13. Ghost Man saves little girl's life.
Ooh, interesting.
Ah, yes, another ghost story. And at least this one's doing something useful instead of just mucking around at the park. This footage alleges to capture the moment that a ghost saves a girl's life as she walks into the path of an oncoming vehicle. There's definitely nothing hinky going on in this video whatsoever. Nothing to see here. The girl evidently does not take care to follow the green cross code when she steps out into the street without looking both ways. But luckily, the Ghost Man is waiting in the wings to perform a superhero speed rescue. Well, that's a relief. And the internet, in that lovely way that it does, decided that this was almost certainly the ghost of her dead father come to save the day. Well, why the heck not? Honestly, are we all still taken in by
It is weird. Where did it
incredible
come from?
footage? I mean,
Except for the fact that it could be editing. But everything nowadays can be editing. So, what to believe anymore? That's the problem. What to believe anymore? I don't know anymore.
They can do all that
I think
deep
it's weird.
fake stuff these days that can literally make it appear as though world leaders had a punch-up or shared an illicit smooch with a movie star. So really, there's not a lot left in the speeding up of CCTV that can make us see ghosts anymore, now is there? Number 12. Glitch in the Matrix moments that will make you double take. All over the world, there are people going around shopping in the same stores and, as a result, wearing the same outfits. It's a fact of consumer lives that sometimes you'll turn up somewhere and there'll be another human dressed just like you. Now, try not to freak out. It might be a little bit embarrassing, but trust me, this is not some sign that you're in the Matrix and have just experienced a moment of clarity. This is not the Matrix. That's just a movie, so stop it. Anyways, now that we've cleared that up, here are a few hilarious moments of matching people, mostly on public transport, making things seem just a tiny bit weirder. But really, most of these so-called glitches say more about the boring.
But if you wear the same, it doesn't automatically mean that you have the same bags, that you have the same shopping carts, that you have the same whatever. But if you look alike and dress the same, then either you're a twin or something's off. I know you have doppelgangers. Everybody does. I mean, look at Daniel Radcliffe. But to say that it isn't weird doesn't mean that it doesn't make sense to me. It is weird. It has a weirdness over it. I mean, why would you can wear the same, look the same, wear the same. That's a coincidence. But what if you just went shopping? You have, well, in the last woman picture, a red shopping bag, and a person that looks like you, wears the same clothes, has the same shopping bag. How the hell is that possible? I mean, that's a bit too much, if you ask me. That's a bit too much.
Clothes we all wear than any kind of computer simulation. Remind me, which pill am I meant to take again? Number 11. The man vanishes. Ah yes, more ghostly action, this time in a driveway in Kentucky. These ghosts are really hitting all the world's hotspots to perform their antics now, aren't they? So this guy seems to have been out for a stroll when he was captured on some CCTV footage as he walked across his driveway in Kentucky. So far, so normal, but then he seems to disappear into thin air, as one does. All very spooky. But you have to ask, does this Kentucky couple review all the CCTV footage of their driveway? And how do they have time for that sort of nosy Parker nonsense?
Exactly.
Perhaps the creepiest part of all is this CCTV cameras that the couple have so liberally festooned their home with. We're all caught on camera dozens of times every day, and we literally have no control over it. From doorbell cameras to dash cams and CCTV on every street corner. And
this has anything to do with the fact that it's potato quality footage. And as soon as he walks to the right, the image is blurrier than ever. So you will not see a human being going in there anymore.
Neighborhood as well. Our privacy has been completely compromised, and for the most part, we remain completely oblivious. Now, that is scary. Number 10.
Number 10.
Bird spotted frozen in midair in mysterious video. Now, what in the world do we have here? As the video starts, it looks to all intents and purposes as though it is a still photograph, but then as it zooms out, there appears to be people walking about in the foreground. This is weird. Or, of course, completely phony. So what it appears that we're looking at is a big white bird that has frozen in midair. The bird stays still, and all the people down below all apparently begin to look up as they notice the anomaly. Is this a so-called glitch in the Matrix? Are we seeing a rift in reality? Well, probably not. Sorry to be the one to break it to you, but there are all kinds of ways to manipulate camera footage and whatnot. Also, you may not be aware of this. People do pretend. Yes, that's right. They make things up, sometimes for art, and in fairness, this is quite artsy. Sometimes they make things up for fun, and sometimes they will even make things up to get all the internety clicks. I know it's hard to believe. What scoundrels. Anyways, what do you think is happening here in this odd video?
I don't know
Let me
anymore.
your brilliant ideas in the comments below, and we'll
I mean, I don't know what to believe anymore. Oh, I hit my mic again. Sorry, Mike. But, sorry for the inconvenience. I do not know what to believe anymore. It's just, I'm getting wild with my hands now. That's why I bumped into my mic. But why do you want? Well, I do know why you want to fake things, because everybody nowadays wants the clicks. Everybody nowadays wants the views. I want the views, but I'm not gonna fake shit about it. Why would I want to do that? I'm going to ruin my own reputation if I do. And if they find out, because everybody nowadays will find out that you faked something. It doesn't matter what it is. I mean, everybody's going to find out. So I want the clicks, but I don't want the clicks like that. I want it to be fair. I'm not going to use clickbait nowadays, because everybody nowadays use clickbait. And the worst part is that I saw a video about that last time. People know it is clickbait. We know. Everybody knows it's clickbait, and still we click it. So I was thinking I will try once, but then again I was like, no, I don't want to. I don't think it's fair to you guys. I don't think it's fair. I mean, it's the same with people saying, I caught a demon on camera. You watch the complete video and you're still looking for the demon. Because you know it's fake. You know it's a clickbait thing. Why? Just be fair to you, to you guys, and to yourself. If you know what I mean. I know it's a lot of yabbing, but I just want to know why people are willing to fake things to get views. I mean, do you really badly want to be someone who in the end will be known as a faker? Because in the end you will get caught. Just let me know what you guys think about this. It's a topic I have been thinking about a long time, but I am actually done with the faking shit. I'm actually done with it. I mean, just knock it off. Just be real to yourself and to everybody else is looking at it. Knock it off. It's annoying.
figure it out together. Number 9. Planes stuck in midair.
I think I know this one.
In footage taken near Moscow Airport, this airplane seems to be suspended in midair. It's not, of course, but for a minute it sure does look that way. Drivers on the road below this plane were perturbed by the odd sight of an airplane as it hangs midair, apparently going neither up nor down, as you would expect an aircraft to do when near the ground. But for a few moments, anyways, there seems to be no movement, although some people really enjoy to speculate on this weirdness and all the possible reasons behind it.
It has something to do with the fact that you're driving your car.
The most likely explanation is a fairly simple optical illusion. According to some people who know about such things, this optical illusion was likely caused by the weather and the vehicles driving in the opposite direction. As the plane flies in one direction and the cars move the other way, it can make it appear as if the plane is stuck in midair. The thing is, if it had actually stopped, then it would very rapidly be plummeting towards the earth, and nobody wants to see that, now do they?
No, exactly.
Number 8. 6-year-old bends fork with her mind. Spoon bending, or any kind of cutlery bending really,
What?
was kind of popular in the 1970s when a self-proclaimed psychic named Uri Geller kept going on the telly and bending spoons with his mind. This particular sort of magic trick has been
I still don't believe in spoon bending. I can bend a spoon, but it's not in my mind.
widely debunked. It apparently uses a combination of previously weakened silverware and misdirection to bend the spoon or fork or whatever. So just how this little 6-year-old girl does it, well, that's a bit more of a mystery. Is she trained in misdirection, or does she actually bend forks with her mind? Well, neither actually. The video doesn't actually show her bending anything. We just have to take her father's word for it that the wonky cutlery he
Seriously? What the hell am I looking at?
shows was stuff that she had bent on previous occasions. Then,
Come
as
on,
she attempts
people.
to bend this fork, she gets frustrated in the process, and then she snaps the end off. And that's really about it. Previously weakened? Well, probably. Magic child? Probably not. Number 7. Giant goldfish. It is sometimes said that a goldfish will grow according to the space in which it lives, staying
True.
small if it lives in a little bowl, or expanding if it winds up in a huge pond. But some
Yeah.
goldfish have begun to appear in various waterways across the United States of America, and these things
Nice.
are absolutely gigantic. Americans have allegedly
And
been
it isn't
chucking
a
their
carp?
unwanted goldfish into lakes all over the show, and those things have been getting fatter and fatter. Goldfish the size of footballs have been pulled out of lakes in Minnesota. As if that wasn't alarming enough, some have even been discovered in the water of Lake Tahoe on the California-Nevada
carp.
border that
That is a gold carp. That's not a fish. That's not a goldfish. That's a carp. You can see it from here. This is a point of which you can see that it's a carp. And the fat lips has nothing to do with a goldfish.
weigh almost 9 pounds
I
measure 20
By the way, I do not know why you want to dump your gold carp, because those things are fucking expensive. That is not normal how expensive those fish are. So I don't know why the point in why you want to dump those fish in there, but still not a goldfish.
20 inches long. That is a big, fat fish. As well as being scarily big, these goldfish are also up to no good. They upset the ecosystem where they're dumped, causing all kinds of trouble by stuffing themselves silly on whatever they like. This means that many places with an invasive
That is not a
giant
carp, by the way.
goldfish problem are
This could be a goldfish, but the other one was definitely not a goldfish.
now beginning to resort to drastic measures to rebalance the waters. The goldfish are being systematically culled to prevent them from completely taking over, so before you go releasing Goldie in a lake, think twice. That fish might find itself on the wrong end of an execution. Dangerous times for a fat fish. Number 6. Bouncing manhole cover. Well,
But excuse me, what? Bouncing what? Manhole cover? Is that how you call those things? Bouncing manhole cover. I need to look that up. I can't. I'm going to look up what it means in Dutch. But that sounds very wrong to me right now.
this is weird. Is there some kind of ghost possessing this
No,
drain in
air.
Denver, Colorado?
There's
It looks
draft in
distinctly
there.
bizarre, bouncing about all by itself in this footage. There are a few possible explanations. The
Air's
obvious
blowing it up.
demonic possession theory, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, this would be my go-to reason for this oddity. But there are other potential causes. Those Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles suffering some gassy after effects from a 3-day pizza bender? Or perhaps an evil clown doing some
No, it's the Ninja Turtles. I know for sure it's the Ninja Turtles.
various sewer-based activities.
Does make a lot of noise though.
The most boring explanation for this spooky manhole dancing is the one that Denver Water decided to go with as the official story, an air bubble. Yes, they claim that a simple air bubble can cause this kind of lively behavior from an inanimate object. It's a
I believe
likely
them.
story. Number 5.
I believe that.
Car vanishes.
Good
While
one.
staring
Need
at
that
videos of
sensual.
fast-moving cars may be enough to make you go cross-eyed, if not
That
to
itch.
induce a full-on headache, it can also make you see cars literally vanish into space. So that's
to
a
the
fun
Future.
one. There are a bunch of exciting disappearing car videos out there, all over the internet in fact, whether they are white cars in snowstorms suddenly melting into their surroundings, or cars seemingly teleporting in front of your eyes. As always, the internet gives us all more than we've ever asked for,
Excuse me,
or
what?
indeed could ever actually want. So what in the world is going on here? Is this a camera trick? An optical illusion? Or perhaps some sort of secret car-stealing experiment? And if cars are teleporting all over the place, where are they going? Do you know what's happening here? Let's get into it in the comments below, because it's time we got some
Editing.
answers to this nonsense.
Has to be editing.
Number 4. The Mike Tyson videotape. Well, apparently this one has been doing the rounds on the old internet for a while now. Who knew? I mean, I didn't, but then I only work here. Who doesn't love a bit of conspiracy theory, especially the kind involving time travel? Now surely that's the absolute best sort of conspiracy. The video is of a boxing match between Mike Tyson and Peter McNeely from all the way back in the golden year of 1995. And the reason that people think there's some kind of time traveling shenanigans
That
going
is
on
weird.
here is in the background.
I don't want to be an asshole, but that does look like a cell phone. They didn't have that back then. Not in this. If they were there, because I don't know which time this was, because I didn't see the video. But if they did have it, it wasn't like this, because this is one of those days, the days we have now, with the camera on it and everything.
Some people believe that a person in the crowd is using a camera phone to film the fight, except that the fight was happening in 1995.
They want Tyson to go to
We-
the neutral corner. What's going on?
And you know, we didn't have camera phones back then. I mean, we barely had mobile phones. I know it's hard for all of you to believe that there was once a world where we weren't surgically attached to our devices, but it was the olden days, and we went outside sometimes and still used payphones and had a separate camera instead of a pocket-sized computer that we literally did everything on. It was a wild time. Anyways, what of this time-traveling boxing fan then? Well, some clever people with magnifying glasses and encyclopedic knowledge of rubbish old pocket cameras from the 90s have had a jolly good look at the video, and they reckon that the so-called smartphone is actually just a regular old camera. They've put together a few likely suspects, and it turns out that it's probably just a regular Casio pocket camera, so that's all rather disappointing now, isn't it?
Could be.
Number 3. The twins
Does look like
that
that.
aren't twins. Now this one's a bit weird, not so much in the fact that these two guys look pretty similar, but what the heck is this business with their names? So this nonsense is about a couple of minor league baseball players who play for the Texas Rangers and the Oakland Athletics. They may have a similar look. Well, to some people they're apparently identical, but just look at their eyes. They're not the
They're not
same.
identical.
Anyways, the thing that I can't get my head around is the fact that both these guys are called Brady Feigl. Seriously, they have the exact same name and they look close enough to be mistaken for one another. It's a real brain boggler. It shouldn't be necessary to have to prove that you aren't related to somebody, especially just because a bunch of other people think that you look alike, but it didn't seem to matter how much these guys swore that they were not related. People just wouldn't believe it. In the end, they decided that they would put the whole thing to bed and get a DNA test. Everyone enjoys those, after all. They make whole TV shows about them. So they dutifully took the test, and lo and behold, they're not related. They just both have ginger beards and a questionable taste in spectacles. But why do they have exactly the same name? It's even spelled the same way, for Pete's sake.
That is weird.
Number 2. Helicopter magic. Ah, yes, it's about time we had another mysterious object floating in
That's
midair
optical
story. This time our
illusion.
subject is a helicopter that's apparently stopped still, its blades not appearing to move, and yet it doesn't fall out of the sky.
Optical illusion.
As excitingly mysterious as this all is, there are some party poopers who have explained this is a simple optical illusion, which is just the result of the way a camera works. It's essentially the result of the frame rate of the video synchronizing with the rotation of the blades. This can make
Exactly.
spinning objects appear still. Nothing to see here. Sorry about that.
Exactly.
Number
I knew that.
1. Stray dogs destroy car in Turkey's Sakarya. Now this is a bizarre thing to see. A pack of stray dogs that's apparently stalking the streets in Sakarya in Turkey, causing all kinds of mayhem.
There is an animal underneath that car. Definitely. It's an animal they were chasing. It has to be that.
A guy parked his car overnight in front of his shop on an industrial estate in the city, and when he left it there, it was in one piece. But when he returned the next morning, it was in pieces. Initially, he thought that he'd been the victim of an attempted theft, so the police got involved and they all viewed the surveillance camera footage. It reveals a completely surprising answer. The car had been vandalized, but not by some hapless criminal thugs, rather by a pack of dogs. 8 dogs had laid into the vehicle, kind of inexplicably to be honest, and had torn the car's bumper to pieces. Maybe there was something exciting hidden behind the bumper. A snake, or perhaps a lost ball. Who can say?
Or a cat.
But whatever prompted the attack, it turns out that
They were
gangs aren't just
They were so looking for something.
the thing amongst humans. Dogs are getting into organized violence as well. Makes you wonder what else these animals might be up to. Perhaps they'll start tagging train cars and bridges next. It could wind up being a real
Wanted,
reign
dead
of
or alive, Fifi.
terror. With all the cheap cameras out there taking constant poor quality footage of everything, we should brace ourselves for a whole lot more glitching in the Matrix. If all it takes to discombobulate our internet-addled minds is a bit of fuzzy video, well, Lord help us all. The Matrix may just begin collapsing right in front of us.
Alrighty, daddy, that was it. Whoa, my camera's still moving. That was it for the Scary Cherry. I actually like the channel because he has a funny voice. He talks very funny. I do have to say this wasn't glitches in the Matrix. But yeah. The only glitch I saw in the Matrix, or think I saw in the Matrix, but it's still a kind of potato quality, was the dog coming out of nowhere on the freeway. That's the only one. The other ones can all be fixed, edited, whatever. Glitch in the Matrix? I think not. No. Good video? Yeah. Liked watching it. Very interesting. Very nice comments. And I'm seriously going to watch more of this. If you like this video or you like this channel, please go over to his channel, which is in the description. Give him a subscribe. Go look at his videos, because by now I really like the background already. The way he talks, the way he says things. Actually love it. So I am already subscribed, so I'm not gonna do that again. But if you like this channel, please go over, subscribe to the channel, and of course, if you like my videos and the way I make my videos, of course, go like and subscribe to my channel. And everybody, I will see you guys in the next video. Ta-ta for now.